Well, while we're still waiting, there we go, late models rolling onto the legendary Pennsboro Speedway.
Doc, the Bud Bear Automotive Pace Truck pulls off. Our field is now rolling.
Well, our first of 6 20-lap heats out on the Speedway, brought to you by Simonton Windows here in Pennsboro and nationwide. Boy, I tell you what, the dash will be to the first corner.
Randy Boggs in 1. Steve Sweet Cheeks Casebold in the C9. Jimmy Partapillo in 14, Sonny Conley in 1x1, Clint Kaufman in 2C, Sam Stile in 2S, Chad McDougall in 7, Barry Jacobs in 88, Jim Lepro in 6.
Truck pull pit side, and they'll pick them up out of turn 4. Wallace and Lucas will bring them to the stripe. There goes the pace truck. First heat about to get underway. Field looks good in turn 4. Green flag waves here at Pennsboro. Wallace to the front and Lucas drops in behind as they enter turn 1. Big mess at turn 1. 2 cars getting side by side.
Well, right away, Calamity Corner, turn number 1. Paul Wilmoth Jr. got sideways. He climbed up on the back of one of the cars going down the front stretch in that B1 car. Now that got once again, the field now rolling through turns 1 and 2. Lineup is set.
Wallace will bring him out of turn 4. Side by side, nose to tail. Green flag waves. Lucas with a huge jump out to the front from the outside, and he'll pitch it down into turn 1. Then it's Wallace and Green. Your top 3, they feather through turn 1. Everybody looks good out of turn 2.
Into turn number 3, it's Steve Lucas with the lead. Wendell Wallace running second. Marshall Green in the number 3 spot. Down the front chute, Paul Wilmoth Jr. on the move. Timmy Hitt, Don O'Neill, and Billy Moyer.
Moyer's got his work cut out for him.
They take it into turn number 4 where Steve Lucas still shows the way. Down the front chute, Lucas, Wendell Wallace, Marshall Green.
Wallace looks to put some heat on the backside of Lucas, exiting turn 2.
Your 4th place car, Paul Wilmoth Jr. holding off the Hitman, Timmy Hitt and Don O'Neill, Billy Moyer. Down the front chute, it's Lucas, Wallace, Green.
Moyer and Don O'Neill have got some work to do along with Timmy Hitt. Only 3 transfer to the main event. Everybody else heads for a B main tomorrow.
Your leaders make their way down the front chute once again and take it into one. Wendell Wallace trying to close in on Steve Lucas. Tim Hitt chasing down Paul Wilmot Jr. as the leaders now take it down the backstretch.
Wallace pulls to the backside of Lucas as they enter turn 3. Pinches the nose of the 6M machine down. Lucas will power out 2 car lengths to lead at the flag stand.
Steve Lucas leads the field into turn 1 and 2. Wendell Wallace closing the gap. Tim Hitt continuing to work on Paul Wilmot for 4th.
Marshall Green sitting in a catbird seat as he would be the final transfer car out of this first of 6 heats. The pack behind Green, stacking them up. Timmy Hitt, Don O'Neill, Billy Moyer, all right there. Got to make a move soon. Now Wallace again to the backside of Lucas as they exit turn 4. Wallace making up some ground that time by. Green holds on to 3rd.
Wendell Wallace continuing to apply pressure now to Steve Lucas for the number 1 spot. Good battle going on up front as well as between Wilmot, Tim Hitt, Don O'Neill, and Billy Moore.
Lucas sets the crosshairs on some lap traffic. It could play an important role here in this first heat event. Lucas now to the backside, sets up to pass Barry Jacobs on the back as they head down the long straightaway. Now Lucas to the backside of the 88 machine. The first car looks to be the one that would go a lap down. Lucas pinches to the inside, lap traffic in front of the leaders.
Steve Lucas dives underneath Barry Jacobs. Now looks under Chad McDougal as the number 6M of Wendell Wallace closing in quickly. Down the backstretch go your leaders. They'll take the battle into turn number 3.
Wallace all over Lucas. Jacobs up in the loose stuff as the dust streams out of turn 4. It's Lucas. Wallace all over Lucas as he exits turn 2.
Chad McDougal sliding up in turn 1. He tags the wall but keeps going. Wallace trying to reel in your leader now as they bring it out of turn number 4.
Wallace applying the pressure across the bridge. Now Lucas powers out the 2 car lengths down the back chute. Lap cars in front of your leader one more time.
Coming across the line, it's Steve Lucas and Wendell Wallace. Jim Lepro about to go a lap down here as your front 2 cars close in on the Butts place number 6. Marshall Green all alone in 3rd, holding down that final transfer spot. Timmy Hitt now to the outside of Paul Wilmot Jr. for 4th. Hitman is now in the number 4 spot.
Timmy Hitt finally setting the car on the outside. Loosen it up, boys, and take it to the outside. You may go to the front. Contact in turn 4. 2 cars get together. They feather out as the real deal goes to the outside.
Steve Lucas takes the leaders into turns 3 and out of turn number 4. Wendell Wallace hanging right with him. Marshall Green now starting to gain some real estate on your front 2 cars.
Caution waves here at the legendary Pennsboro Speedway for the first time under green flag conditions here this afternoon.
Well, the big lead that the 5L of Steve Lucas had is gone. Now you'll tuck Wendell Wallace right in behind him. Marshall Green in 3rd, and the hitman Tim Hitt is on the move. He'll tuck into that number 4 position ahead of Paul Wilmot Jr.
Lineup looks good. Let the 88 machine of Barry Jacobs catch up. Steve Lucas on the gas out of turn 4. We're green again here at Pennsboro. Lucas carries the lead into turn 1. Wallace hot on his heels. Marshall Green holding on to 3rd. Watch the 28 of Tim Hitt go to the outside out of turn 2. O'Neal putting the pressure on the inside of hit. Nothing doing as Timmy shuts the door out of in turn 3. Your leader out of 4 still, Steve Lucas, then Wendell Wallace as they cross the straight.
Wendell Wallace on the back bumper of Steve Lucas. Once again, Marshall Green holding down that 3rd spot. They head downhill into turn number 3. Timmy Hitt running forward. Don O'Neal, Billy Moyer, Matt Aber, Randy Boggs. They'll bring it out of 4 and down the front chute. 5 laps to go.
Lucas holding on to a slim lead across the bridge in turn 2. Down the back chute they go. Lucas pulls out the 3 car lengths over Wendell Wallace, then Marshall Green. Timmy Hitt, Don O'Neal, and Billy Moyer need to make a move soon. Next time by will be 4 down, 4 left to go in this first heat event here this afternoon at Pennsboro Speedway. Lucas holding off the charge of Wallace out of turn 2.
Marshall Green still holding that final transfer spot. The Hitman closing in turn 3. Pushes a little as he went into turn number 4. Green's going to take him down the front chute and into 1. Marshall Green holding on for dear life in that final transfer spot. Wendell Wallace continuing to apply pressure to Steve Lucas.
Lucas out of turn 4. 2 sticks in the air, 2 laps to go. 18 down. Wallace hot on his heels across the bridge. Then it's Marshall Green, Timmy Hitt, Don O'Neal, and Billy Moyer. Top 3 transfer. Everybody else sits it out in the B main tomorrow afternoon. White flag in the air. Steve Lucas underneath the flag stand. 1 more circuit.
Lucas taking him down the back stretch for the final time. Last chance for Wendell Wallace to pick up the heat event. He goes to the outside. Here comes the little man out of turn number 4. Across the line, it's Steve Lucas.
Lucas will take it at the stripe. Wallace poured the coal to it. Couldn't quite get him at the line, and Marshall Green will pick up 3rd. Now the all-important crossing the scales. Don't be late or you'll be too tight. That's what they always say. What a finish to that heat event. Was it worth waiting for, race fans?
Marshall Green picking up that 3rd and final transfer spot. Won the last race here at Pennsboro Speedway, so that paid off for him, making the trip up here earlier on this year. That signal is given, Doc. Steve Lucas wins heat race number 1.
Your first heat winner. Heat winners will be honored tomorrow by Simonton Windows and Simonton Building Products right here on the front stretch before we take to that 6-car, 8-lap dash to start the starting grid. But Lucas is in, and everybody else got to find a way after 2nd and 3rd. Wallace looks to be good across the scales, so he's in. He has locked himself into a starting position in the 21st Annual Jim Dunn Memorial Dirt Track World Championship.
Area in 64, Rob King, Freddie Carpenter as we get green. We're underway. Mark Vanell takes him into turn number 1. Steve Francis running second. Vanell slips. Francis looks underneath. Down the backstretch. Francis all over Vanell like a cheap suit as they go into turn 3.
Vanell, smoke coming from the right rear of the Vanell car. Looks like the car's too loose as Francis cuts to the outside and down underneath the flag stand. Burkhofer, then Jimmy Mars round out your top 4. Vanell much better through turns 1 and 2 that time. Man, he carried the speed in there. Vanell out of turn 4 and down the front chute. Vanell, 2 car lengths to lead into turn 3. He'll power out of turn 4 by the flag stand this time. 3 car lengths over Steve Francis. Then Burkhofer, Jimmy Mars. got him covered at the flag stand one more time. Francis pours the car to it across the bridge at turn one. Burkhofer holds on to a strong third with Jimmy Mars in fourth. Francis putting the car to it out of turn four, closes the gap on Banal as they enter turn one. Now Francis, the pressure on him off the bridge, down the back chute. The 15's going to lay the bumper to him as Banal pulls away into turn three.
Mark Banal with a ton of motor down the backstretch, but loses all his ground in turn four to Francis once again. Across the line, Francis now a car length off the back bumper. Closing quickly as they move in on the solar traffic of Steve Casico and Marv Schilling. Francis goes to the outside. Here comes the Kentucky Colonel down the backstretch. Steve Francis, your new leader.
Francis using the lap cars as screens as he comes through. Will you look at that lead as he comes down the front stretch. 7 car lengths into turn one. But now holds on to second, Burkhofer third. Mars in fourth as one car slows. Entering turn one, blocking the rest of the field. Jackie Boggs caught behind that lap car.
Steve Francis opening up a comfortable lead out of turn four and up the front chute. He'll take it into turn one. Mark Banal running second. Brian Burkhofer third. Jimmy Mars fourth. Dale McDowell, Jackie Boggs, Denny Chamberlain, Mike Golden, Harold Redmond.
Chamberlain making a move in the back of the pack, trying to get up there to get a little closer to see if he can make a transfer into this main event tomorrow afternoon. Francis lengthens out his lead to 15 car lengths over Mark Banal. Nothing changes as we come down into turn one. It's Francis, Banal, Burkhofer, Jimmy, Mars. Your top four. Mars got to make a move to get in the show tomorrow.
Halfway signal given to Steve Francis as he goes to the inside of Tony Ranieri. 10 in and 10 to go. Ashland, Kentucky is the home of your leader. Mark Banal running in second. Brian Burkhofer third. Down the backstretch running fourth, it's Jimmy Mars. Boy, oh boy, look at the rear deck lid of Steve Francis, your race leader, involved over in turn number 4. Caution flag is out.
The big, heavy hitters all over the place.
Getting collected, he did stop on the racetrack, and unfortunately the Kentucky Colonel will be relegated to the tail. Steve Francis electing to take the number 15 into the pit area. Mark Banal, your new leader in the T8.
Them to the into turn 3 and out of turn 4 as the exit. Green flag waves here at Pennsboro one more time. Banal with the lead down the backstretch. Then it's Burkhofer. Timmy hit right there on the backside of Brian. Jimmy Mars, check that out. Jimmy Mars making the move, and Davy Johnson. Davy got some work to do yet. Davy got to get around the Elk Mound, Wisconsin driver.
Your leader's down into turn number 3. Mark Bunnell on the hammer around the corner. Burkhopper following suit, then Mars, Davy Johnson, and Jackie Boggs, your top 5. Boggs now going to work on DJ for the number 4 spot. Jackie Boggs on the bottom of the racetrack, making her stick.
Boggs to the inside of Johnson on a turn 2. Now Boggs up in the loose stuff, drops a few car lengths back behind Davy Johnson. Bunnell setting sail on the backstretch. Rights the car to turn 3, out of turn 4, 7 car lengths to lead out of turn 4. Mark Bunnell, your leader. Brian Burkhopper second, Jimmy Mars third, and Jackie Boggs putting the heat all over Davy Johnson for 4th.
Now your leader approaching the slower traffic. He sees the K1 of Rob King and the 64 of Tony Ranieri. Leader closing in on the slower traffic. Race could be won or lost right here if Bunnell gets tied up in that lap traffic, as Burkhopper still has the number T8 in his sights, 15 in and 5 to go.
Bunnell chasing down the lap cars, comes out of turn 4. He's got in the sandwich of lap cars as he heads for the stripe. Bunnell to the inside across the bridge. Burkhopper holds on to second, Mars third, Davy Johnson 4th, and Jackie Boggs 5th.
Jimmy Mars now in a burst of speed, closing in on Brian Burkhopper. Burkhopper, your second place car, chasing down Mark Bunnell, but Jimmy Mars on the move. Davy Johnson and Jackie Boggs continue that battle for 4th.
Bunnell with 2 laps to go as he crosses underneath the flag stand. Burkhopper holding on to second. Lap cars in front of your leaders, he exits turn 2. Bunnell to the inside, this time by, he'll check the white silks from our flagman here at Pennsboro Speedway. Bunnell across the bridge at turn 1. Burkhopper hot on his tail, lap traffic between 1 and 2.
Out of turn number 4, coming down across the line, Mark Bunnell wins the event. Second goes to Burkhopper, third goes to Jimmy Mars, 4th will go to Davy Johnson, and 5th goes to Jackie Boggs.
Lots of good cars in and lots of good cars got to get in tomorrow. The racing ought to be great in those 3 B mains tomorrow afternoon here. Well, once again, we have to say this every time, Rick, but across those scales is the most important thing these guys do right after they get through.
Well, of course, your winner on the racetrack, unofficial until he crosses the scale. But what a great race it was, and Mark Bunnell getting the job done. He'll pull it down the front stretch here, bring it up to those 4 steel pads that'll tell those officials exactly what that vehicle weighs with the driver in it. And if everything's a go, he'll get the thumbs up and head back to his pit area as the winner of heat race number 2. Third place car, Jimmy Mars, out of Elk Mound, Wisconsin, the Parker Store Special. He gets the okay, and your top 3 finishers are legal. That'll move us into heat race number 3 on the pole. Out of Mooresburg, Tennessee, the 0 of Scott Bloomquist. On the outside, Dan Schleeper out of Pewaukee, Wisconsin in the S9. Billy Hicks goes inside of row number 2 and 6. And on the outside, it's Rick Eckert. Mike Balzano in E1. And then the number 12 of Doug Dodd. Todd Andrews in 42 and the 00H of Chuck Harper. Rick Briggs in 99B, Booper Bear in 00, Steve Smith in 3CJ, the 19 of DJ Myers. Steve Wilmoth in the S1 car, and on the outside, it'll be the T7 of Todd Smith. Then moving on to the next row, it's the Flintstone Flyer, Mike Duval in F1, Aaron Scott in 33, Lou Bradich in the number 5, and on the outside of him, the 240 car of Charlie Duncan. Field on the hammer, but the caution is waving. Everybody a little bit excited there before we got ready to go. Russ Fraunhoppel in the number 5, Leslie in 5L, the 3B of Baker. He'll be your last starter in that 3B. Baker will start from the tile. Thomas Baker in 3B, your final car. And now we are ready to go. Bloomquist and Schleeper on the front row. Hicks and Eckert in row 2. Here they come down for the green. We're underway.
Bloomquist starts to the inside across the bridge. Sleeper right behind him, then it's Billy Hicks and Rick Eckert. They stack him and pack him out of turn 2. Caution waves as Charlie Duncan all over and sideways down the front stretch. We'll have to stack him and do it one more time.
Here they come out of turn number 4. Bloomquist and Schleeper take the green. Once again, Scott Bloomquist gets the jump going into turn number 1. Schleeper back to second. Billy Hicks has his hands full with Rick Eckert, Doug Dodd, Mike Malzano. They take the battle down the backstretch and into 3. Bloomquist, your leader. Trouble in turn number 1. The number 5 of Leslie getting spun around, and a caution flag waving once again. So Ray Leslie in the 5L car bringing out the caution flag. 2 starts and twice Bloomquist has got the lead. We'll see if the third time is a charm. Coming out of turn number 4, here they come, Doc.
Looking for some good karma. Scott Bloomquist on the gas early out of turn 4. Here they come. Green flag waves here again at Pennsboro. Bloomquist shoots into the lead into turn 1. It's Sleeper. Eckert to the outside of Billy Hicks. Eckert digging hard to the outside. Eckert takes that third spot away as they exit turn 2. Now, the Mooresburg, Tennessee native setting sail. Sleeper holding on to the second spot, and it's Rick Eckert. Billy Hicks right there, and then Mike Malzano.
Scott Bloomquist taking him into turn 1. Now Eckert going to work on Dan Schleeper for second. Sitting in fourth, it's Mike Malzano, then Billy Hicks, Doug Dodd, and Todd Andrews. Bloomquist with a huge lead going into turn 3. Schleeper broke away from Eckert once again, but Eckert trying to reel him in, coming out of 4.
Andrews makes a move on down to the outside. Looking to pick up a spot. He'll put the pressure on Hicks. Down the backstretch they go, and Andrews takes the position away from Dodd. Now back up front. Bloomquist. 15 car lengths to lead over Dan Sleeper. Eckert letting the tires cool off a little bit. Will apply the pressure down the backstretch. And Mike Malzano holding that 4th spot.
Now Todd Andrews going to work on Billy Hicks. That's battle going on down the back chute and into 3. Hicks holds him off as Andrews slips a little bit. Bloomquist across the line. 29 3/4 car lengths to lead over your second place car of Dan Schleeper. Running at 3rd, it's Rick Eckert, but Mike Malzano now on the move. The E1 cars trying to close in on Rick Eckert for 3rd.
Andrews to the outside of Hicks in turn 1. Andrews puts the car down and lets it bite out of turn 2. Hicks holds him off on the inside. Now side by side, and Andrews will pitch the car down in turn 3, slams the door on Hicks, and he'll take 5th position away from the 6th car, Billy Hicks.
Dan Sleeper running in that second spot. Rick Eckert holding down the final transfer position. Mike Balzano trying to close in and take that transfer spot away from the number 24 of Rick Eckert. Across the line, it's Scott Bloomquist, your leader. Dan Sleeper running second. Eckert and Balzano running in the number 5 spot. It's Todd Andrews. Then it's Booper Bear, Billy Hicks, Doug Dodd, Lou Branich, Chuck Harper, and Steve Smith. Scott Bloomquist continuing the show to way, 10 in and 10 to go. Sleeper all alone in second. Eckert once again opening some ground over 4th place, Mike Balzano. But the car on the move is Todd Andrews. Andrews in the 42, now working towards catching Mike Balzano. Booper Bear running in the number 6 spot.
Your leader, Scott Bloomquist, into turn 1. 6 lap cars in front of him. Could make a difference here in this heat event. Bloomquist down to the inside. He'll put one of them down, sets his sights on the 240 car of Charlie Duncan. Your leader out of turn 4 down the front stretch. Sleeper looking to make up some room as lap traffic is slowing down the leader.
Bloomquist now closing in down the backstretch on Charlie Duncan in the number 240. He'll take a look to the inside out of turn number 4. Down the front chute they come and into 1. Bloomquist still your leader, but Dan Sleeper has closed the gap. Sleeper taking advantage of the slower lap traffic that's giving Bloomquist fits. They go downhill into turn number 3. Bloomquist now goes to work in turn number 4 on Ross Fronthapple.
Scott Bloomquist going to have some patience with these lap cars. Sleeper to the inside of Charlie Duncan, and Duncan slams the door, not knowing he's back there. Now Bloomquist out of turn 2, down the back chute. Now he's getting cobbled up, and Sleeper's closing the distance.
Scott Bloomquist gets by Aaron Scott. He'll put him a lap down. Sleeper now caught in behind Aaron Scott and Charlie Duncan. If Bloomquist can get by Russ Fronthapple, he'll be able to open up that advantage once again. He does it going into turn 3.
Todd Andrews has closed the gap, and he pulls to the outside of Balzano in turn 4. Now Andrews to the inside. Every one of them three-wheeling down the front stretch.
Dan Sleeper holds second, running third. It's Rick Eckert. Balzano right there in 4th. Todd Andrews in 5th. He's within striking distance as Balzano goes to the outside of Rick Eckert. They're battling it out for the number 3 spot. Signal given to Scott Bloomquist in the 0. There's your second place car, Dan Sleeper. Rick Eckert 3rd, Balzano 4th. Running 5th, it's Todd Andrews. White flag this time by for Bloomer. He's in turn 3.
Cobbled up with lap traffic. Here comes your leader out of turn 4. He'll set sail to the outside. Caution waves here at Pennsboro Speedway.
Field thundering through turn number 4, looking for green. It'll be white flag the next time by Bloomquist. Leads them down into 1. We're back underway.
Bloomquist Bloomquist holds the lead across the bridge. Then it's Dan Sleeper. Cut to the outside is Todd Andrews in the 42. Booper Bear digs to the inside of Andrews and puts him away. White flag will wave on your leader this time by. Bloomquist underneath the flag stand. 1 second left. Sleeper holds on to second. Eckert third. Malzano fourth. Booper Bear with a big charge as he slid underneath Andrews and then Doug Dodd.
Into turn number 4, bringing it up the front chute, winner of heat race number 3, Scott Bloomquist. Dan Sleeper second, third to Eckert, fourth goes to Mike Malzano, and Booper Bear rounding out the top 5. Your winner of heat race number 3, the driver out of Mooresburg, Tennessee, the Miller Brothers Coal Warrior number 0 of Scott Bloomquist. Unofficially, until he crosses the scales, he is your winner. We'll check down pit side with the officials to make sure the call is made, and we'll watch our top 3 cars weigh in. Bloomquist takes the Hawkeye Trucking Warrior chassis to the scales. Frank in the 1-star car. On the outside, the number 21 of Ray Gus Jr. C, Scott Carr of Doug Henry. Chris Henry in 17W. The 49 of Brian Ruhlman scheduled to go. The 10 of Kenny Compton. Junior Maloney in the 1MY. Field gets the signal side by side as we get ready to go. And they will get the signal next time by to go as we're getting ready for green heat number 4. Here they come. John Frank will take them into turn 1. Ray Gus Jr. running second. Lynn Geisler third. Butch McGill fourth, and R.J. Conley in the top 5 as they head down the back chute.
Chubb checks up early into turn 3. He really got on the binders down the backstretch. R.J. Conley to the outside of Butch McGill in turn 2. McGill slams the door as they head down the back chute. What a boon for this area if Butch McGill can make his starting field to this heat race. The Doddridge County Terror now running in 4th. All the while, the 1-star of Chubb Frank pacing this 4th heat event here this afternoon at Pennsboro Speedway.
Chubb Frank takes Ray Gus Jr. into turn 3. Gus closing the gap in that Car City Petroff towing 21X. Up the front stretch they come. It's Chubb Frank, Ray Gus Jr., Lynn Geisler, Butch McGill, R.J. Conley, Steve Russell, and Scott Cross. Out of 2, down the back chute. Frank stretches the lead over Ray Gus. Geisler can hear the roar of Butch McGill in the 1MC as they take it into turn 4.
Frank across the bridge with a 5-car length lead over Ray Gus Jr. Geisler holds on to 3rd. McGill pouring the coal to his backside out of turn 2. Out of turn 4, your leader, Chubb Frank. 7 car lengths to lead at the flag stand. The battle heats up for the 5th position as R.J. Conley holds that spot. Cars collected up here in the front stretch.
We have got them stacked up here on the front chute. Kenny Compton, Randall Chupp. Freddie Smith got into the 114 of Randall Chupp, destroyed the right side of that car. Junior Maloney down there, Larry Blankenship, Rick Bond, David Smith, all involved after the fact, but Freddie Smith got the worst of that. It happened to him at the World 100. It's happened to him here again today. This time getting into Randall Chupp in the 114. Nowhere to go. Track blocked coming out of turn number 4. Falling victim to a crash that happened this time out of turn number 4. The Christenberry Trucking 00 done for tonight and most likely done for the weekend. You see the damage on that machine. He collected into the 114 of Randall Chupp. Nowhere for Chupp to go. Freddie Smith on a double wrecker, and anytime you see that at a racetrack, that's definitely not good news. Freddie Smith hoping to make the Dirt Track World Championship once again this year, but it's not going to be unless some miracle this crew can repair that car to have it here tomorrow for a B main.
Them into turn 3. Ray Gus Jr. hot on his heels as they make the turn and exit turn 4. Green flag waves here again in a Jim Dunn Memorial Heat Racing action. Frank across the bridge in turn 1. Gus Jr. right behind him. Lynn Geisler, and the pressure coming from Butch McGill.
Up the front chute they come across the line. Year leader Chubb Frank, Ray Gus Jr. second, Geisler, McGill, and Conley the top 5. They stay single file order through 1 and 2 and head down the long back stretch into the turn number 3.
Your leader, Chubb Frank, down the back chute, 4 car lengths over Ray Gus Jr. Geisler holding on to 3rd. Butch McGill sitting in the seat that either goes to the B main or moves up and gets a transfer into this main event tomorrow afternoon. McGill needs to do something different. Now McGill all over the inside of Geisler in turn 2. Pitches the nose underneath the backside of Lynn Geisler. Now, McGill to the inside, checks up in turn 3.
Lynn Geisler and Butch McGill side by side. McGill spins in turn number 4. Caution flag is out. Butch McGill gave it all he had in turn number 4. Contact with Lynn Geisler. Geisler held on. McGill spun in 4, and now Butch McGill is going to have to go to the tail.
Remain heat number 4, qualifying for the Dirt Track World Championship tomorrow afternoon. Green flag waves on your leader, Chubb Frank.
Chubb Frank takes him into turn number 2. Ray Gus Jr. trying to hang with him. Geisler has his hands full now down the backstretch. Conley putting on the pressure. Geisler to the inside of Gus. Couldn't get it done in turn number 3. Lynn Geisler saw an opening and shot for it, but Gus slammed the door shut.
Now the battle back for that 2nd spot as Geisler goes to the inside of Gus one more time. Across the bridge they go. R.J. Conley sitting right there if somebody bobbles.
Across the line, it's Chubb Frank, your leader. Now Ron J. Conley on the move. Here comes RJ. He's bringing Steve Russell and Scott Cross along with him down the backstretch. Chubb Frank with a comfortable lead. Geisler again taking a look to the inside of Ray Gus Jr. RJ Conley waiting for a place to stick the 71C. Steve Russell all over him at the halfway point.
Chubb Frank setting sail, no problems up front. The race back in the back. Geisler looks to the backside of Gus Jr. one more time, and Russell to the inside of RJ Conley. Now Russell backs off as they head to turn 3. The battle for those last 2 transfer spots. That's where it's all out here at Pennsboro Speedway in this 4th heat event.
Chubb Frank now with a full 2-turn lead and sliding up the bank. Ray Gus Jr. in trouble. They go by him, and Gus has at least a flat tire, if not a broken axle. Caution flag is out. Lynn Geisler now taking over 2nd. RJ Conley 3rd.
Hey, what the Cancuzzi's pretty neat. Both sides have the Dirt Track World Championship on it. And I tell you what, stop. There's your leader out of turn 4. Chubb Frank will bring him to the stripe. Green flag waves on your leader. That battle once again will be for the 2nd and 3rd transfer spots out of this heat event.
They come out of turn number 4. They're starting to bunch up nice and tight now. Chubb Frank, Lynn Geisler, RJ Conley, Steve Russell, Scott Cross, and Tim Dome. Those are your top 6 vehicles. Rod Conley now brings the 71R up in line behind Dome. Frank with a comfortable lead. Geisler in 2nd. Sitting on the bubble, it's RJ, but Steve Russell out of Pontotoc, Mississippi, going to work.
Russell with a good run earlier. He got bumped and bumped and bumped late in the session, but he's making his move now. Got to get one more spot to get in the show tomorrow afternoon. Russell all over RJ Conley down the back chute. Geisler holding on to that 2nd spot. The battle comes out of turn 4. It's Geisler, Conley, then Russell. Tim Dome now joins the battle. He'll pull the 16 machine to the outside. Across the bridge, and there they go.
Down the back chute, it's all Chubb Frank, Lynn Geisler, and RJ Conley. Now Scott Cross going to work on the 72 of Steve Russell. 5 to go. 15 in and 5 to go. Chubby will take him out of turn 2. RJ Conley on the back bumper of Lynn Geisler. Steve Russell running 4th. Scott Cross rounding out the top 5.
Chubb Frank's lead at the flag stand, 10 car lengths over Geisler. Geisler, the right rear quarter panel caved in on the tire. It could come into play, as you can see tire smoke rubbing in the turn 1.
Field stretched out once again in single file order. Up the front chute they come. Chubb Frank, your leader. Lynn Geisler, RJ Conley, Steve Russell still on the outside looking in like a kid at the candy store wishing he could open the door. He hasn't been able to do it yet. He's going to only have a couple laps left to go as double sticks about to wave to Chubb Frank.
The only way to pass out of turn 4 has been to the high side. Let's see if somebody can loosen it up and go up there. Russell, 2 laps to go to move by RJ Conley and take that 3rd and final transfer spot away.
Chubb Frank all alone like the class valedictorian on prom night as he is running wild coming out of turn number 4. White flag will fly, 1 lap to go.
Your leader exits turn 2. Has the 1-star machine dialed in here at Pennsboro Speedway this afternoon. Chubb down the backstretch. Pinches the nose down into 3. Exits turn 4. Checkers wave all over the 1-star of Chubb Frank. Rolling in 2nd. The 1C, the Cochran Automotive, Lynn Geisler and Steve Russell taking 3rd.
And a transfer spot for RJ Conley, the driver out of Wheelersburg, Ohio, goes by the wayside with the spin. Steve Russell in the Dirt Track World Championship with that third place finish. And now the all-important scaling of the cars. We'll take a look at the top three as they make their way down the front stretch to the Chubb Frank bringing it up on the scales. He gets the nod, your winner out of Sugar Grove, Pennsylvania, the shoestring traveler, Chubb Frank, going to the Dirt Track World Championship. Out of Cranberry Township, Pennsylvania, he's going to the Jim Dunn Memorial DTWC. And now the Rick's Furniture, number 72 of Steve Russell out of Pontotoc, Mississippi, goes to the scale. Two heat events on the pole. The Bartman, Bart Hartman in 75, Skip Arp in 31, Duke Wissiant in A1, Chuck Maloney in the 1M car, Johnny Johnson in 99, Bill Fry in 66, Flying Ryan Markham in the 14M, Rich Gardner in 1G, Terry Phillips in 75, Greg Johnson in 23J. Field coming out of turn number 4. They'll get the signal next time by.
Watch that Bud Bear Automotive Pace truck as you'll enter the backstretch. The truck pulls pit side and will be racing in heat number 5. 3.
Here they come, thundering out of 4, down the front stretch. Green is out. Bart Hartman will take him into 1.
Hartman across the bridge with Arp on his tail. We've got one stopped on the front stretch. Wayne Hughes, the Midway, West Virginia driver, comes to a complete halt on the front stretch.
One style.
Hartman and Arp take him into turn 1. Some heavy hitters back in the pack. Looks like Skip's trying to get a little edge there. Out of turn 4, your leader, Bart Hartman. What a jump he got in a big melee down the front stretch.
Red flag is out. Turn 1 not accessible. Down on the front stretch, we have got a big problem. Bill Fry, Rob House, the Clark machine, the Brown machine, Greg Johnson, Rich Gardner, Terry Phillips, Paul Harris, all involved here on the front stretch. What a mess, but Bill Fry has climbed out of his car.
Race fans, let's clear the track. Let's clear the track. Let the medical crew in there. Let's our wreckers and let our safety crew in there. Race fans, please clear the track.
Huge pile up. Terry Phillips still up on 2 wheels. Greg Johnson up on 2 wheels. This is quite a mess to unravel here on the front chute. It's going to be interesting to see who can restart this event as a good half of the field taken out right here.
Everybody charging for that first position on the first lap. You've got to race 20 to get there. You can't finish if you don't start. That's the way we are right now. So give these safety crews a few minutes to clean it up while we got this break in the action. Stop down and pick yourself up something down in the vending area down there and order your Dirt Track World Championship video this weekend before you leave, and he'll put it in the mail to you.
It's going to be a party when this is all over with tonight. Signal given, side by side, gentlemen. We're going green next time.
Leaders coming into turn 4. Going to pick them up out of turn 4. Caution waves one more time. Hartman brings them down in the green flag waves here at West Virginia Motor Speedway. Check that out. Pennsboro, Skip Art to the inside across the bridge. 1 stopped in turn 4. Caution waves here at Pennsboro. We're underway in heat number 5. Hartman to the inside and across the bridge. Art Pot on his tail. Johnny Johnson right there.
Ryan Markham taking a look to the inside of Johnny Johnson, the battle for the 3rd transfer spot. Johnson slams the door shut as a veteran of the J&J Steel, entry number 99, hangs on to your 3rd position. Leaders coming up the front stretch.
Hartman sets sail down the backstretch, 10 car lengths to lead over Skip Art. And Johnny Johnson holding on to the 3rd and final transfer spot. 2 laps in this time by. The cars hooked up are 3-wheeling it down the front stretch here at Pennsboro this afternoon.
Flying Ryan Markham continuing all over the back bumper of Johnny Johnson. Greg Johnson running in the number 5 spot with that beat up Miracle Motorsports Rayburn chassis. Johnson holding his own here. We thought the car was junk for tonight, but he's got it running in the number 5 spot. It's the Bartman, Bart Hartman up front, Skip Arp running in that 2nd spot. Johnson slips in turn 1, and Ryan Markham took a look underneath, couldn't get it done. Johnson will slam the door shut down the back chute.
One little bobble could cost you a trip to the DTWC tomorrow. Your leader underneath the flag stand, Bart Hartman with a half a straightaway lead over Skip Arp. Now Markham and Johnson battling into turn 1 across the bridge. Out of turn 2. Johnny Johnson with a 2-car length lead over flying Ryan Markham.
It's Bart Hartman with the lead. Skip Arp all alone in 2nd. Johnny Johnson in a real heated battle with the 14M car of Ryan Markham. They're going for that last transfer spot into the Dirt Track World Championship, and it's a good battle between the veteran Johnson and Markham in 14M.
Hartman setting sail, look at the backside of Larry Clark down the front stretch into turn 1. Hartman, 9-car lengths to lead out of turn 2 over Skip Arp. Now the battle back there for 3rd is Johnny Johnson. Holds off the charge of Ryan Markham as they exit turn 2. Johnson down the backstretch. Markham pinches to the inside, nothing doing as Johnson slats the door on him down the front stretch and into turn 1. Hartman puts the lap on Clark down the back stretch as he comes out of turn 4. Arp closing in a little as Hartman battles lap traffic out of turn 2.
Down the back chute, Bart Hartman clears his 0-car Ed Schumann, but Skip Arp in hot pursuit. In turn number 3, Arp trying to close the gap on your leader, Bart Hartman. Johnny Johnson all alone in 3rd as the halfway signal given. 10 in and 10 to go, and Skip Arp is gaining ground on your leader. Bart Hartman showing the way around as Skip Arp clears the Ted Allman machine. Hartman again has opened up a comfortable lead, heading down the back chute. Bob Puz, your next car to go a lap down into 33.
Hartman in the next lap, he'll be battling lap traffic. May slow him down, may let the Curtis Equipment 31 of Skip Arp come up to the backside and challenge for the lead. Now Hartman down the backstretch. 2 back markers in front of the 75. He'll check down low into turn 3. And Arp's closing the gap. Arp out of turn 4.
Bart Hartman in 75 getting crossed up with the 233 cars. That helps Skip Arp out as now he'll clear Brown. Bart Hartman getting around the Brown machine. And once again, Hartman has clear sailing. Caution, flag is out.
Pennsboro Speedway. Out of turn 4, it's Bart Hartman. He'll take the green one more time. Arp behind him, Johnny Johnson and Ryan Markham. Markham all over Johnny Johnson out of turn 2. Markham to the inside, but Johnson slams the door one more time.
Paul Harris going to the inside of Greg Johnson. He'll take the spot away. Put Paul Harris now in the number 5 spot. Your leader, Bart Hartman, across the line. Skip Arp 2nd, Johnny Johnson 3rd. Ryan Markham 4th, and Harris rounding out the top 5. Down the back chute, the Bartman, Bart Hartman in the lead. Skip Arp running in the number 2 hole, and Ryan Markham once again mounting a challenge on the 99 of Johnny Johnson.
Johnson holds his ground underneath the flag stand. Now into turn 1 and across the bridge. Johnson looks strong in that 3rd position.
5 laps to go. 5 to go in this 5th heat event.
Hartman 3-wheeling around Pennsboro Speedway. Really hooked up to the right side. Arp holds on to a comfortable 2nd. Johnson now 3rd. The heat coming in the 4th position. Markham now charges to the backside. Nothing doing as Johnny Johnson holds it in across the bridge again. 4 laps to go.
Hartman making his way out of 4. It'll be white flag the next time by. Skip Arp running in that 2nd spot. Johnny Johnson running 3rd.
Hartman sails into turn 3. Cuts the corner, checks it out, 3 wheels out of turn 4 down the front stretch. White silks all over the 75. Running in 2nd, Skip Arp, and Johnny Johnson more comfortable in the 3rd position. The final transfer spot out of this 5th heat event this afternoon. Now your leader rolls it into turn 3. Arp closes a little distance as they come out of turn 4. Underneath the checkers for the 75 of Bart Hartman. Skip Arp finishes 2nd, Johnny Johnson 3rd, Ryan Markham 4th, and the all-important trip to the 4 metal pads and the little ticker that says how much you weigh and if you're legal or not.
Paul Harris rounding out the top 5 finishers. Unofficially, the Bartman, Bart Hartman, your winner. Shannon Babb, the Petrov Towing, Car City number 18, Donnie Moran, the Stephen McCullough Motorsports number 99. Donnie Moran on the front row. They work their way into turn number 4. Here they come up the front chute. Green is out. We're underway. Babb got the good jump in the number 18, Donnie Moran. Back to 2nd, Ray Cook 3rd, Dale McDowell 4th, Mark Johnson rounding out your top 5. And Atkins with some sheet metal damage on the 24A as we come down for lap number 1.
Everybody clear down the backstretch, out of turn 4. Babb takes it awful high, manages to right the car. Moran in 2nd, Ray Cook in 3rd. Babb 2 car lengths to lead over Moran as they exit turn 2. Ray Cook in 3rd, 5 car lengths behind Donnie Moran. The field spread out, but Babb holding the high line, trying to come out the middle, and Donnie will close the gap as they head into turn 1. The battle back there is for the 4th spot as McDowell and Mike Johnson go at it as they cross the bridge. Now, Moran closes the gap one more time as he exits turn 4.
Ray Cook holding down a solid 3rd place run. Dale McDowell running 4th. Mike Johnson running 5th. Jim Dandy Jr. 6th. Brian Riddleman 7th. Jeff Smith 8th. Running 9th, it's Eddie Carrier Jr. and Bobby Burgess rounding out the top 10.
Moran closes the gap one more time. Ever so close as they cross the bridge into turn 2. Moran dialing in the 18 of Shannon Babb. Watch Moran. He'll pitch the nose of the 99 down, and Babb lets the car run through the center of the turn.
Shannon Babb, a 3-car length lead over Donnie Moran. Moran closing the gap in turn number 2. Goes to work out of the second corner down the long 1,000-foot backstretch here at Pennsboro Speedway. Into 3, Donnie Moran closing in on Shannon Babb.
$1 Million Donnie. All over the backside of Babb as they encounter lap traffic on the bridge. Babb to the inside. Moran all over his bumper as they exit turn 2. One more time down the long back straightaway.
Yearly is cleared. Rob Flanagan into 26. Now go to work on a 4. Moran on the move on the back bumper of Shannon Babb. They go around Jeff Smith in turn number 1. Donnie Moran putting on a show, trying to get around Shannon Babb.
Moran cools the tires off. Now he'll pitch the nose down in turn 3. Lap traffic gonna bobble everybody up down the front street. But Babb clears the 40 of Mike Eaton. Now Moran clears Eaton. Now Babb cobbled up on the bridge and Moran all over the backside of the 18.
Mark Workman in the 1W stands in front of your leaders. Babb and Moran trying to put him a lap down. Mark Workman trying to hold on to that spot and not go down a lap. Babb will get by him. Moran comes along with him. Donnie Moran again continues his assault on Shannon Babb.
The winner of this heat race will start on the pole on the 8-lap dash tomorrow. Don't you think the 99 wants to be up front? Babb, what a boon would it be for his economy tomorrow if he could start the 8-lap dash on the pole. Babb, 4 car lengths of lead underneath the flag stand. Moran runs in second. Now, Ray Cook encountering Mike Eaton in the Workman machine. Back there in lap traffic, and Dale McDowell on the move in the 4th position.
Dale McDowell goes to work on Ray Cook. That's the battle for the final transfer spot. Mike Johnson behind them watching that battle take shape. But it's Dale McDowell right now in the number 1 car trying to get by Ray Cook, and Cook is in heavy traffic.
Cook underneath Workman. He puts him a lap down. And now, McDowell blocked by Workman, and Cook pulls away. That is the 3rd and final transfer spot if it would end on this lap. Now, Babb to the inside, another back marker out there. Moran to the inside, and they put him to waste. Now, down the backstrap, Babb go, and they've got clear sailing for the next 200 or 300 yards.
They've cleared George Lindsay in the number 49. Some clear sailing here for a while for Shannon Babb. We'll see what he's got as Donnie Moran starts to close the gap once again. They head out of turn number 2. Babb will drag Moran down the backstretch.
Now Moran closes in one more time in turn 3.
Mike Johnson off the pace in the 2J car out of turn number 2. Johnson has come to rest on the backstretch, and the caution flag is out. Mike Johnson bringing out the caution flag as that car come to rest coming out of turn number 2.
Leader out of turn 4, Shannon Babb takes the green with 5 laps to go. Babb, Moran, Ray Cook, Dale McDowell. Taking the dive underneath the inside, Jeff Smith, the Dallas, North Carolina driver, all the way up. Now he'll go to the backside of Dale McDowell. The battle there heats up for that final transfer spot.
Shannon Babb leads Donnie Moran and Ray Cook through turn number 2. Dale McDowell still thinking about making a bid for the 3rd and final transfer spot. Down the backstretch, Jeff Smith is on the move in 70. Going to work on McDowell as they make their way up the front stretch. Moran has closed in on Shannon Babb once again for the lead. Down the backstretch into 3, Donnie Moran making a last-ditch effort They'll get the 2-lap signal. White flag the next time by.
Moran slings the car to the outside. Babb will try to block everything he can. Now Moran one more time. Kicks it up, makes the right rear bite. Now Moran will track him down the backstretch. This time by White, Silks in the air. One more to go, and Moran dives to the inside. Donnie Moran all over Babb. Made the dive to the inside, nothing doing as Babb closed the door with heavy contact between the two leaders.
They take it down the backstretch into turn number 3. Babb your leader, Moran second. Donnie trying to reel him in. Here they come out of 4. Shannon Babb will win it.
Shannon Babb takes the checkers. Donnie Moran in second. Ray Cook third. Dale McDowell fourth. And Jeff Smith bringing home a top 5 finish.
Once again, the scales now come into play, and we will see if these 3 drivers have indeed qualified for the Dirt Track World Championship.